Jana Salakaya Chaksuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhuta Kadamayam Dadatitva Padantikam Andeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare.
So you can continue. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nasta Praesha Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So today we are reading 15, first canto, chapter 8, that's prayers by Queen Kunti. We are on text 15. Prabhuji, Path Prabhuji, would you please guide us through the shloka?
Yes.
So that we can repeat after you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So text number 15.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yadyapyastram brahmashiras.
Yadyapyastram brahmashiras.
Yadyapyastram brahmashiras.
Yadyapyastram brahmashiras.
Tva amagham cha pratrikriyam.
Tvam amogam cha pratikriyam.
Tva amagham cha pratrikriyam.
Tvam amogam cha pratikriyam.
Vaishnavam teja ashadhya.
Vaishnavam teja asadhya.
Vaishnavam teja ashadhya.
Vaishnavam teja asadhya.
Samashamyat dhrugodruha.
Samasyamyad Bragudruva.
Samashamyat dhrugodruha.
Samasyamyad Bragudruva. Stop. Okay, so we can try.
Yes.
By the time Mataji is joining, Pitamuli Prabhuji, will you please try the text? Then you repeat after you.
Yadyapi Ashram Brahma Shiras
Yadyapi Ashram Brahma Shiras.
Tvamogam cha pratikriyam. Vaishnavam teja ashadya.
Vaishnavam
Teja Asadya.
Asadya.
Sama Samyad Brigudvaha.
Sama
Samashamyad
Samyad
Bhagavaha.
Brigudvaha. Haribol. I can try. Yadyapi Astram Brahma Shiras.
Yadhyapya
Yadyapi
Ashtam
Ashtam Brahma
Brahma
Shiras.
Tvam Amogam Chapatrikriyam.
Tam Amagham
Tamodam
Chakratikriyam.
Chapratikriyam.
Vaishnavam Teja Ashadya.
Vaishnavam
Vaishnavam
Teja
Teja
Asadya.
Shadyam.
Samasyad Brigudvaha.
Sama
Samashamyad
Samyad
Bhagavaha.
Brigudvaha.
Would anyone else like to try?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Haribol.
Yeah, I will try.
Yes.
Yadyapi astram brahma shiras
Yadyapi Astram
Yadhyapyastram
Brahma
Brahmashiras.
Shiras.
mogam chapriti kriyam
Tvam
Tam
Amogam
Amagham Chakratikriyam.
Chapratrikriyam.
Vaishnavam teja asadya
Vaishnavam
Vaishnavam
Teja
Teja
Asadya.
Asadya.
samathyad bhrigu dvaha.
Samashyamyad
Samyad
Bhagavaha.
Brigudvaha.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare.
Haribol. Anyone else would like to try? Renuka Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, or Lakshmi Mataji?
Mataji, I don't have the book in front of me, so sorry. Hare
All right.
Krishna. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so then we can try, we can go on to the what word? Pitamuli Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji. Hare
What
Krishna.
word?
I do. Okay, okay.
And then,
Haribol.
yes, and then you can read through the paput.
Okay. What word? Yadyapi,
Yadyapi,
Yadyapi.
although.
Although
Ashtam,
Astram
weapon.
weapon.
Brahma Shira,
Brahma Shiraha,
Brahmashiraha.
supreme.
Supreme.
To
To
but.
but
Amogam,
Amogam.
without check.
without
Without
Cha,
cha,
cha.
and.
and
Apratikriyam,
Apratikryam.
Apratikryam,
not to be counteracted.
not to be counteracted.
Vaishnavam,
Vaishnavam,
in relation with Vishnu.
in relation with Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Teja,
Teja,
strength.
strength.
Asadya,
Asadya,
being confronted with.
being confronted with.
Samyat,
Samasamyat,
Samasamyat.
was neutralized.
was neutralized.
Bhrigu Udvaha,
Brigu Udvaha,
O glory of the family of Bhrigu.
oh glory of the family of Brigu.
I continue Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Kasturi Mataji. Please
Hare
accept the
Krishna,
humble
Mataji.
obeisance on behalf of everyone. Today, Mataji, we are reading text 15. Should we go on with the translation, or should we hand it over to you?
Mataji, I think I can take over. And
All
then,
right.
yeah, I'll try to
Okay.
explain.
All right.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna. So today we'll be going through 15 and 16, just to clarify.
Om Ajnanatimrandasya Nanchana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschayata Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiri Shrunvata Swagatas Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Gastoki Apatrani Vidu Noti Sugrit Savam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. All right, thank you, dear devotees. So we can get started with our 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So just to kind of give an overview and then come to the 15th and 16th verse. Specifically, the 15th and 16th verse, they are talking about the inconceivable powers of Krishna's protection. The 15th one talks about neutralization, and 16th one is going to talk about how wonderful is Krishna. So we will first go through what is happening here, just to kind of recap and get that flow, which is very important. So the first 4 verses talks about the pacification of the Pandavas. So the first 2 verses specifically talk about how they were lamenting. The Pandavas, along with Draupadi, went to the Ganges. They offered water to the departed souls and lamented for them. And then they bathed in the holy Ganges. So now we may have we may all have this question. So why are they behaving like ordinary soul, ordinary conditioned soul, crying and lamenting for somebody's death, isn't it? It's not somebody's death, is it? It is Vaishnava's death. And we also, because we are Vaishnavas, if somebody, close to our heart, who has been serving us so well, and if for some reason something happens to him, we also lament. But there is a difference. We hanker for the Vaishnavas Association. We actually hanker, oh, so much guidance he has given us, so much he is exhibited by being a real role model to all of us, and that person is no more. So I will not be able to get the same kind of service, or I'll not be able to learn from him the qualities that, so that is how we are missing his association, isn't it? Another point to note is that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that the devotee doesn't lament. He doesn't keep on lamenting to a point where the lamentation interferes with his bhajan. So he laments, but he knows, if he has a service duty, if he has something to perform, if he has to chant, if anything were to, if that lamentation causes disturbance in the bhajan, that's not how a devotee laments for. So this is very important, dear devotees, to make sure that we don't excessively, there's no excessive happiness, again it disturbs our bhajan. There's no excessive lamentation as well, because it will disturb our bhajan. So this is very important, and the devotee rightly knows how to keep a balance so that nothing actually, even happiness or distress, doesn't interfere with this bhajan. So this is what Rupa Goswami teaches us through his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then 3rd and 4th, what are they talking about? It is talking about pacification. How the Pandavas, Draupadi, Kunti and Gandhari, they were all overwhelmed with grief. And Krishna and the sages, seeing their condition, they were they were kind of trying to pacify them, citing that this is all stringent laws of time acting upon the living entities and cannot be counteracted. So we just have to go through this kala. And then Lord Krishna, he saves Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. Now, Krishna establishes the glory of Yudhishthira Maharaj in the verses 5 and 6. If you look at the translation, it says, by Lord's grace, Yudhishthira Maharaj recovered his kingdom after killing the cunning Duryodhana and his associates, whose lives were diminished because of rough handling of Draupadi's hair. So this is very important, dear devotees, to note a point that as we commit sinful activities in our life, what happens is we are losing our lifespan. Again, this doesn't apply to a devotee, because devotee is in the direct control of Krishna. But if we were a karma nishtha person, then if you were to be controlled by karma, then what does karma do? Karma actually decreases the lifespan of those who are committing sinful activities, which is what is being talked about here. And again, we see Duryodhana and others, Dushashan, they were all trying to, obviously chaste lady like Draupadi, they were trying to, be offensive to her. So that behavior is condemned. And then sacrifices. The sixth one talks about Lord Krishna then had Yudhishthira Maharaj perform how many sacrifices? 3 horse sacrifices. And thus caused his frame to be spreading like Indra's. Now, Uttara is crying out for help. Help to whom? Krishna. So the 7th and 8th verse talks about the departure. Lord Krishna then prepared his departure to go where? To go to Dwaraka. After exchanging greetings with the Brahmanas and Pandavas, he sat on the chariot, and Uttara then came running towards him in fear and addressed him. The only protector, Uttara calls him. In the 9th verse, she says, "O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, greatest of the mystics, in this world of duality, no one can protect me from the clutches of death." This is what she said. Krishna, Krishna might have asked, what is this? Are you praying for your life or what? This is what she's saying. Oh, Lord of Lords, Lord of universe, greatest of the mystics, in this world of duality, no one except you can protect me from the clutches of death. So Krishna might have thought, oh, is she praying for protecting her life? And then that is being clarified in the 10th verse. Protect my son. A fiery arrow is coming towards me fast. Let it burn me personally, but let it not kill my embryo. This is what a mother's compassion, mother's love is, right? Even before the child is born, she wants to protect her child. That's why mother's love is irreplaceable, and that is unique. And each and every parent showers their love irrespective of, even if the son is rude, she thinks that, oh, my son is a very good boy or a very good girl. This is mother's love. Lord Krishna counteracts the Brahmastra. If you look at 11 and 12, it talks about Krishna understood that Ashwatthama has released one of the Brahmastras. Seeing the glaring Brahmastra coming towards them, the Pandavas took up their weapons. Ashwatthama released multiple Brahmastras to kill the Pandavas and their only grandson, which is inside Uttara's womb. So he feels that, oh, if Uttara's son is taken care of, then, probably I have taken care of the Pandava dynasty as such. Something like that, okay? So Krishna then took up his Sudarshan disc to protect the Pandavas, his unalloyed devotees. Lord Krishna, who is Yogeshwara and Paramatma, then covered Uttara's embryo by his personal energy. So now Krishna's inconceivable powers of protection is being described. So the today's verse specifically talks about the irresistible and uncounteractable Brahmastra was neutralized and foiled by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So this is very important, right? I mean, who comes to you at rescue is somebody whom you think of and whom you surrender to. So this is Krishna, right? And then the 16th verse specifically talks about, okay, do not consider this. Again, Krishna did this. I mean, what did he do? He neutralized the Brahmastra. So, one might ask, oh, what are we supposed to think? So don't consider this is so surprising. For Lord Krishna, he is infallible. He is not only infallible, he is unborn and he's full of wonderful powers. For him, nothing. This is nothing. Counteracting the Brahmastra, neutralizing it, this is all nothing for him. He is capable of doing wonderful, he has wonderful powers and his powers are also inconceivable. And this baby, Parikshit Maharaj is in the womb of Uttara. Imagine how Krishna can give protection to somebody who's in the womb, right? It's just not something that is conceivable for us. So this is something that's beyond science also. So that's what Krishna is. He has wonderful powers. He is unborn and he is infallible. By his Maya, he creates, maintains, and annihilates the universe. So today's theme is very nice because there are so many things that Srila Prabhupada has laid out in the purport for us to explore and understand, and how Krishna's protection is so wonderful, and who's a fearless person one who takes surrender, of one who actually surrenders to Krishna is a fearless person, and one who's dependent on Krishna is a fearless person, right? When we are dependent on somebody in this material world, then we think, oh, this person is fearful, that's why he probably surrendered to that person, isn't it? But in spirituality, if you are dependent on Krishna, that is what is fearlessness. So we should understand how contradicting it is, right? I mean, we have a material mindset, so we don't want to be dependent on anyone. That is our mentality. But the real fearlessness comes to us when we actually become more dependent on Krishna and more dependent on Vaishnavas. So dear devotees, please always keep this in mind, because whenever a Vaishnava does something for us, it is actually very good, because that way we can actually develop gratitude to that Vaishnava. If you were to do something, say for example, somebody is giving a class for this matter, let's consider, okay, and you like the class so much, you're inspired so much, and it is like you feel so grateful to that person. So it's good to have this feeling. Or say for example, somebody prepared boga, and that boga was very delicious, and she actually prepared it for your deities. So you definitely develop that bond of attachment with that person who personally does service to you. So which is very good. And this, because the gratefulness is what keeps the devotees together. So we should never think I should not be dependent on that Vaishnava. I should not be dependent on this person. No, in the spiritual world, in the world of Krishna, everybody has to be dependent on each other, because that's how we can express our love, and that's how we can express our gratitude. So never, unlike in the material world, we don't want to be dependent. In the spirituality, we should actually be dependent on the Vaishnavas. That's how we increase our bond. And what happens with the increase, what happens with attachment to Vaishnavas is that we will not have envy, right? Because envy is a blocking factor for our progress in Krishna consciousness. When we are so lovingly attached to all our friends around, we will not have that aspect of envy. This is what Krishna wants. He wants all of us to be together. In Goloka, everybody is allowed. In the material world, say for example, there is a job opportunity, and this job opportunity is restricted for only 4 people. So we may be competitive to get that job, because only 4 people are there and 400 applicants have applied to the job. But in the spiritual world, there can be 400 million people, 400 billion people. Krishna has all space to accommodate all of us. So there is no need for us to actually feel insecure, because Krishna has the open door policy. Depending upon the mood of surrender, devotee gets admitted. And each and every devotee like that, they will also be getting admission. So, we are not blocking each other's admission to Goloka. No, we are actually helping each other, because through inspiration of other devotees, that is how we will be able to even reach Krishna. And that inspiration should not turn into envy at any point in time. So this is something we should always remember. There is always the contrast between the material world and the spiritual world. And we have a material mind. So we always have that perspective to think about things in a materialistic way. That is how we are conditioned. But that condition, we have to come out of that conditioning shell. So this is something we have to internally work and be conscious of. That is what Krishna consciousness is. We have to be conscious of our qualities, conscious of our interactions, conscious of our services, conscious of Krishna all the time through all these different means and ways. So I just wanted to give that as a brief intro before we actually get into today's theme. Definitely a lot of things are being clarified here. Prabhupada has talked about Maya. Prabhupada has talked about the internal potency of the Lord. So we will try to understand and try to contrast between the two, and then also look into, how spiritual master could help us. And so what are some of the things that we can practically also apply and win over situations of Maya. So these are some of the things that we'll be looking at in today's class. Now, if you look at this world, people at all costs, they are willing to face any kind of risk to pursue their material ambitions. They have such incredible enthusiasm, right? they are all prompted by the temptations of Maya. So if you look at cities like New York City, the skyline is almost unbelievable, isn't it? They have such incredible big buildings that actually, looks as if it touches the sky. Hundreds and thousands of them, each of them, they are all trying to compete with each other in terms of heights. How high can I go? This building will say, oh yeah, I can go higher than you. Oh, the other one will say, oh, you know what, I can definitely beat you. So each one is set up in a very unique fashion. There are subways that you can get to in the New York City where you can go anywhere, anytime. There are underground trains. There is television also. And if you want facts, that facility also will be available soon. So that way, communication is not at all a problem. What type of enthusiasm and determination, people have to kind of create a city like this, to create a skyscraper like this. If you imagine, if there is a small fix that needed to be done in our house, for example, there is a piece of wood that fell from the altar or something, we take weeks to fix that. Now imagine in New York City, people are building skyscrapers and they should have some sort of determination. What is that determination that actually forces them to get the job done? They want some prestige, they want some money, they want some sense gratification. And all these things are under the influence of what? Maya. So it is Maya that empowers them to have that eagerness and determination to proceed forward. See, for us in Krishna consciousness, what is the enticement? What is the enticement? It should be the goal. It should be the prayojan. I have Krishna Prem, and this is the prayojan I am seeking for. And this goal has to foster you to develop that enthusiasm and determination to kind of attain that goal. For the materialistic people also, under the influence of Maya actually empowers them to have such eagerness and determination. A politician, if you look at him, he has such massive armies. They can create bombs of destruction. Fighting with different cities, it's all possible. It's all millions and hours of hard work. But people never want to give up on all these things. Against all odds, they want to fight and get the job done. So they are empowered by what? They are empowered by the material energy, Maya Shakti, Durga. On the contrast, if you look at devotees, they have taken shelter of Krishna, the internal potency of Krishna. And according to the desire of their devotional service, they also are empowered in a similar way, empowered with such determination and endeavor, never to give up the devotional service, and never to give up the willingness to risk anything for Krishna. So again, there is definitely gradations. So everybody can't build a skyscraper. The person who's so determined, so enthusiastic, by the Maya potency of the Lord, then, he can go and build a skyscraper. There's also degrees, isn't it? Other person, he can maybe build a ordinary townhouse or ordinary building. Depending upon that enthusiasm and determination, they will put so much of hard work and get that things accomplished. In a similar way, in devotees also, we will see gradations. How much determination and how much endeavor a person has. That depends upon the sadhana, right? That again, it's all coming back to the faith. If you have faith, then you will definitely be empowered. With determination, you will put in a lot of endeavor. The more the faith, the more is your endeavor to please Krishna. So it all boils down to faith at the end of the day with regards to a devotee. So Srila Prabhupada, we can never forget this example, isn't it? Against all odds, he wanted to start a worldwide movement. Even after struggling in Jhansi, no results of getting anything. And he was struggling in Vrindavan, in Bombay, no results. He wanted to go to America after such hardships, and 1 year he tried for it and still no results. He was determined. My Guru Maharaj has given me this order. It must be done. It must be done. So what is the vision? At that time, Srila Prabhupada didn't even have a place to stay. He didn't have a single person who could take interest in this process of Krishna consciousness. He explained, but he explained, I would like to have temples all over the world. And I want millions of books be distributed to thousands of devotees. He was going to get that if it meant life or his death. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire is that to have this unflinching determination. And because of these, strong faith in Krishna, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in just a few short years at such an old age, he left the world. I mean, he left India and he came to US. And then he enthusiastically expanded the movement and, did more than anybody could just dream of. He just had a conception in Vrindavan. Because of his pure, unalloyed surrender, he was empowered by the spiritual energy of the Lord. Right? Some empowerment has to come either through Maya, that is external energy, or the internal energy of the Lord. In Srila Prabhupada's case, it was just a contrast to show how he was empowered by the internal potency of the Lord. Right? We know this verse, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. So we have two energies. One is the inferior energy Maya, and there is a spiritual energy called Yoga Maya, Daivi Prakriti. And there is marginal energy. And Jiva is belonging to this marginal energy, Tatastha Shakti, where marginal energy can either go and take shelter of Maya, or it can be empowered by Krishna directly. It's up to us. So Krishna, again, at the end of the day, if you were to look at the scenario, it is Krishna who's empowering everyone. Because this material nature is also working under Krishna's direction. Not a blade of grass in this material existence can even move slightly without the sanction of Krishna. This is something we have to keep it, in our heart, because without Krishna, nothing can happen. So we cannot blame situations. We cannot blame people. Again, they might have done something wrong into our lives. Krishna has sanctioned it, and that is why we forgive those. It's between them and Krishna. We are not to judge anybody. So if we were to take things the way Krishna wants us to take, then our life will be very, very happy. Actually, he's doing everything for our own good. If you take it from a Shastric perspective, each and everything has a very, very good implication in your life. It's all meant to do good to you only. He just wants you to come closer to his lotus feet. And for that, he creates situations in devotee's life, and devotee has to take it in the right perspective, understand it, and then come out of that situation, giving the right response to Krishna. Again, he's the Lord and he's the master. So in the spiritual world, Srimati Radharani, it's her mood of service. It's her mood of devotion, that we have to take inspiration from. Just a teeny tiny bit of Radharani's devotion to Krishna is what we need. And she is the one who's empowering us to be better devotees. Through Radharani's mercy, she's the Ladini Shakti of the Lord. She's Vrindavaneshwari. She's the queen of Vrindavan. And everything is working under her direction, under all these energies, they are working under her direction. The partial expansion of Srimati Radharani, Sri Lakshmi Devi, appears as Parvati or Durga, and she's in control of everything in this material world. And now there's this beautiful segment of story about Samanta Dweep in Navadip Dwam. So if you look at Parvati, Lord Shiva was actually one day dancing in ecstasy, in such great joy, such ecstasy, because he was chanting the holy names of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Parvati Devi, upon seeing him dancing in this way, she was like, "What is this? What is going on with you? Never have I seen you in such ecstatic love. You are dancing so madly." And Shiva explained how Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has come to this age of Kali to give what? To give pure love to everyone. It's just not meant for you or me, or it's not restricted to anybody. It is meant for everyone. The pure love of Godhead came. This concept was known to us because of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy. That's Srimati Radharani. Radha Bhav is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So only because of her mercy, we are able to understand, okay, what is devotion? What is service? And what is my goal? This goal is not told in any other sampradaya. This goal of getting this pure love to Krishna, not everybody knows, right? So we are so blessed because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of Radharani's mercy. He has actually tasted the sweet ecstasy of Radharani. I mean, Krishna, as Krishna, he is able to taste the sweet ecstasy of Radharani's love. And so Lord Shiva, he has received the darshan of Gaura Sundar, and because of that, he kept dancing in ecstasy. And now Parvati Devi, she asked this question and she understood the reason. And she started to perform an yajna to have the fortune of audience of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now she started to perform this yajna near Mayapur, and she wanted to have what? The mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared before her in a beautiful form, splendid like molten. He's the essence of beauty. And so we all need to understand, when this material world was created, whatever is beautiful, it's all coming because of the ingredients that are given by the Lord. The whole material nature is based on the ingredients that are supplied by Krishna through the energy of Krishna. So anything we see beautiful, it's just a teeny tiny drop of unlimited mind of Krishna's qualities. Teeny tiny bit. Imagine how much, that also, this teeny tiny bit of unlimited mind of Krishna's qualities in a perverted reflection. That's what is coming to us in this material world. When we see beautiful things in this world, which are all temporary by nature, but how they can actually completely intoxicate our minds, how we can become obsessed by it. By the thought of seeing it, we just want to possess that. But those qualities are just a teeny tiny bit of the unlimited opulence that is embodied by Krishna. So we can imagine to see the very source, the reservoir of beauty and charm, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the full divine manifestation of the Lord who's standing before Parvati Devi. So what type of ecstatic intoxication can it produce for the eternal soul? If somebody were to have a direct darshan of Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who's non-different from Krishna, what sort of ecstatic feeling can that produce to that eternal soul? Imagine if we are intoxicated by this material beauty, which is a perverted reflection of Krishna's unlimited beauty, unlimited qualities, and that's coming out from Krishna. Imagine if Gaura Sundar was going to come and give you a personal darshan. How would you feel? That is the feeling that Parvati Devi was going through. So now Parvati Devi, when she happened to see Gauranga Mahaprabhu, she began to cry. Because she was telling Gauranga Mahaprabhu, see Gauranga Mahaprabhu, I have such a thankless job. I am the goddess of this material energy, and my duty is to keep everyone away from you. It is my duty to keep everyone entangled in this modes of material nature. It is my duty to keep people in the prison of Kama, Krodha, Mada, Maksharya. So this is what is my duty. And these qualities are all of material life. It is a thankless task. I desire I could always be engaged directly, personally, in your loving service, helping everyone to love you, to serve you. This is what I want. And she began to weep. In Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he explained to Parvati that the original form of Srimati Radharani is always engaged in my eternal loving service. He is intimately engaging everyone in the acts of pure bhakti, but in the domination of energy. But I'm telling you one thing, Parvati Devi, when I come to in this material world, since you desire so much in this holy land of Navadvip, you can actually protect the holy dham and you can actually witness my loving pastimes with all of my devotees. So this is what I'm telling you. So now she became so grateful for the mercy of the Lord as Gauranga. And after that, Gauranga Mahaprabhu disappeared. She took the dust where his feet, she just took the dust and placed it between the parting of her hairs. And therefore, that place became known as Srimantadweep. So this is the story of Parvati Devi. Parvati Devi is the energy for the material condition of life. And through her powers, we are all endowed with various abilities and to pursue the happiness in this world. So Ashwatthama is an embodiment of someone who is illustrating like what type of determination a materialistic person has and how he could actually fulfill his desires. If you look at Ashwatthama, he was so envious of the Pandavas. He was willing to risk everything to destroy them. In every time he tried, he got himself in such incredible trouble, but he's still trying that he would never give up. He has already killed 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi. Then he was attacked because of that reason. He tried to defend himself with Brahmastra. The Brahmastra was neutralized. He was captured. He was tied like an animal. He was thrown to the ground at the feet of Draupadi. He was humiliated completely. He was, it was like worse than even death for him. But Draupadi, being a very kind-hearted lady, soft-hearted lady, because of her loving and forgiving nature, because she was sympathetic towards the mother of Ashwatthama, she happened to release him. She prayed that Ashwatthama be released. But when they released him, when they released him, that humiliation he felt was even worse. So because he felt that humiliation was worse, he wanted the Pandavas to go through difficulty. So he wanted the Pandavas dead. So he sent another Brahmastra. And this was meant to kill the 5 brothers of Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Arjun, Sahadev, and then he also wanted to kill this guy, kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, who was the only surviving heir. This one Brahmastra was to kill all the surviving male members of the Pandava dynasty, so as to speak, so that there is nothing left of them and everybody will be dead forever. So that was his desire. So just see, not only did he have this determination, but he had the ability to fulfill. And Brahmastra, as you can see, it's a most powerful weapon. And the Pandavas in this situation, they turned to Krishna. And Uttara, as a loving member of the family, loving mother, she actually begged to Krishna. If this Brahmastra was to kill someone, where to kill someone, let it actually kill me, but please protect my child. At that time, Krishna was so anxious to protect his devotee, and he performed this incredible pastime. First, by his own, by his own powers, he protected all the Pandavas. And what about the child in the womb? How is he going to change? I mean, we can see Pandavas are there right before Krishna, and Krishna can protect them. This is quite conceivable, at least little bit conceivable. But look at the case of Parikshit Maharaj. He is in the womb of Uttara. How is he going to save this particular child? With Krishna, he is the Paramatma. He is in the heart of every living entity. He is also between each and every atomic particle, for that matter, in this whole creation. So where is Krishna? Not there. And what's the question of him not saving his devotee? He's everywhere. He's in the heart of Uttara as Paramatma, and he's also in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. He diffused the Brahmastra weapon, and Parikshit Maharaj was given the grace of seeing seeing Lord Krishna, the power to see everything. this Parikshit Maharaj had this unique vision of taking the darshan of Krishna in his womb. Parikshit Maharaj was able to see Brahmastra trying to come and kill him. So imagine there is an embryo and this embryo is helpless. He could, if you look at the embryo's position, if you look at the embryo, he can't even move. There's no room. He couldn't even hardly move. He couldn't even cover his eyes from this glaring light of Brahmastra. He was in utter helpless possible condition. If you can imagine, when a child is in mother's womb, you're utterly helpless. You can do nothing. You're totally dependent on your mother. If your mother eats, you eat. If your mother eats the right food, you eat that right food. If your mother happens to eat some wrong food, then you eat that wrong food. If your mother becomes sick, you become sick. If your mother wants to kill you, you die. If your mother wants to protect you, you're protected. So this way, the child in the womb is 100% dependent. So the child in the womb is, 100% dependent on his mother. So when this Brahmastra was coming, it was glaring, right? It was so glaring. And Parikshit Maharaj was able to see that. And because of the prayers of his mother, Uttara, Krishna himself came to personally protect him. So this is a very wonderful principle to understand, because we are also put in the same situation. We are all quite helpless. We are all covered by the womb of what? By the womb of this material energy. And we are all helpless, babies in the womb of this material energy. We have no power to help ourselves come out of this predicament of repetition of birth, death, old age, and escaping these threefold material miseries. In this situation, what is required for us? Someone who's very dear to the Lord. We need some person like that, who's very dear to the Lord. So we know the beautiful pastime of Jagai and Madai. The Lord was going to kill Madai, but then Nityananda Prabhu, the original spiritual master, prayed on behalf of Madai, and because of him, he was delivered. He achieved the supreme mercy of the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Gaurasundar. Similarly, when the great souls petition to the Lord to bestow mercy upon us, then what happens? The Lord will bestow that mercy upon us. Everything is happening because these great souls, they are so close to Krishna, and they bring Lord's mercy into our lives. We cannot approach Krishna directly. Krishna can be approached only through the spiritual master. So these spiritual masters, they are exalted Vaishnavas, and they have the capability to approach Krishna. So what happens in the altar when we are offering prasadam to the deities? First, we must approach our Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj then later approaches the parampara. We pray, dear Gurudev, I know certainly you are not going to eat the food that is not offered to Krishna. So I'm not offering it yet for you to eat, but you will only take Krishna Prasad. Whatever I'm offering, you can only take this to Krishna. I'm only offering it to you so you can offer it to Krishna. I'm actually coming to you to ask your blessing that as your instrument, as your assistant, I can help you offer this to Krishna. That's all. I'm just used as an instrument here. I'm used as an instrument for what? I'm trying to help you offer this food, bhoga to Krishna. Because certainly Krishna will accept it only when you offer it. Otherwise, he will not. But because Krishna accepts whatever is offered, it has to be offered with what? There is only one criteria for that. It has to be offered with devotion. After Krishna takes, then only I know you will take this. Then I will have it. That is going to be Maha Prasad. This is the mood of a devotee. So this is the mood of the real devotee. So here Uttara prayed to Krishna to save this child. So Krishna, please save this child. So, Srila Prabhupada, you know, when you so we have so much opportunities here in devotional service, right? When Srila Prabhupada was asked, what qualification do I have? He said, no qualification. I have created your qualification. What does that mean? That means his prayer to deliver us with our qualification to be delivered. We may have had a desire, but that was not enough. It was his prayer to intervene in our life and attract Krishna's mercy to come to our life. So, you know, we need to understand how the mercy is actually descending down to us. It's, of course, our endeavor, sadhana is one thing, but then the mercy of our Guru Parampara, the mercy coming through the Guru, through the Parampara, that is what is actually taking us to Krishna. So this is very important, dear devotees, because we all have to be dependent on each other. There is so much dependence in this process of bhakti. So that is why, you know, it is all, that is why the Shastras say we are not the controllers, we are not the doers, we are not to be the enjoyers. This is said for a reason, right? And so it is the compassionate prayers of Srila Prabhupada, and he wants us to be taken to Lord Krishna. Because of his compassion and his mercy, one day we will have the chance to go to Krishna. And there is a very important Shastric statement which says, you know, if Krishna wants to kill you, no one can protect you. No one can protect you. But then if Krishna wants to protect you, no one can harm you also. So we need to understand whatever powers anyone has, everything is either coming through Durga Devi or the internal potency, depending upon what category he belongs. Krishna, however, he can manipulate this material energy in any possible way if he desires. If Krishna wants to endow a yogi with a mystic potency, then, you know, it's nothing for him. He can definitely give him that mystic potency that he wants. The yogi can perform great miracles with that mystic potency, and he can attract so much attention. So this is definitely, you know, a little, you would have seen yogis, they try to probably attract people with a little bit of ash. Ash has no value. Maybe a little bit of gold. People think, yeah, this is so miraculous. This person is none but God. But Krishna, he is a reservoir of all opulences. He is Yogeshwara, right? So we need to understand he is endowed with all mysticism. He is, you know, he gives it to the heavenly planets, upper planets, or these people, the Siddhas, they're all so powerful, they can even create planets. Krishna gives them that ability. They could also destroy planets if they desire so. And Krishna has to empower that Jiva with that potency. Otherwise, nothing can be done. So it's all because of Krishna. Even in the case of Arjuna, you know, Arjuna understood, you know, without Krishna, I'm useless. The powers that I have is because of Krishna. Krishna can do anything possible. He can do the impossible possible. Anything is possible with him. So now I understand we have 4 more minutes. So there is so much to talk about, but then I don't know, probably I'll try to maybe leave out 4 minutes of time for question and answers. So I'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, thank you very much for the wonderful class. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
Mataji, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, please, Mataji, go on.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji. Thank you for the class. Mataji, I know Guru is very important. But in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said that you can give me flower, water, a leaf with love and devotion. I will accept it. He doesn't say that give it to your Guru to give it to me. I don't have a Guru, so I don't want to really believe what you're saying. Am I going wrong here, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Absolutely, Mataji. The thing is, at the end of the day, see, even in this material world, if we were to get things done from a minister, say, for example, you need to contact a minister, and that minister has all powers to get the job done. So we cannot directly go to the minister. We probably have to take permission from the secretary and do something to the secretary, give some, tips and things like that to get to the minister. So, and then if you look at Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is so many instances where Guru Avagnya is talked about. I mean, here it's one of the principles to say to not to disrespect the Guru. That's one of the limbs of devotional service, to not to disrespect, the Guru. So if there is a principle which actually talks, which is a limb of devotional service, which talks about Guru Avagnya, that means not to give respect. I mean, if you're actually not respecting your Guru, that's actually bad, and because of which you will this one of the offense as well. So in that case, if there is a principle like this, what about to a person who doesn't even want to have a Guru? Right? The holy name, obviously, it has the capability to do anything possible. The holy name can do wonders. It specifically talks about in Chaitanya Charitamrita that this holy name can deliver anyone. This holy name doesn't require anything. There is no qualification, nothing needed. But then it only applies as long as this person doesn't have, this person may not have taken initiation. But if he has the attitude of, oh, what can the Guru do? I mean, what can he do? I can directly go to Krishna. If he has this mentality, then this this is more than even disrespect. If the principle says, oh, you should not even disrespect a Guru, what about a person who doesn't even want to have a Guru in the first place? It is even more dangerous, isn't it? So if this person doesn't have a Guru, it's okay, as long as he doesn't have this attitude, oh, what can a Guru do? He can't deliver me. I mean, I can directly get delivered by approaching Krishna directly. If he has this attitude, then that is a problem. But not having a Guru is not a disqualification. But having this menial attitude of not wanting to have a Guru, thinking Guru to be any other ordinary person, that attitude is bad. So in future, maybe, because circumstances are not working out, maybe you don't have a Guru. Or, there could be other situations, you are waiting for something to happen. But only a Guru we have to understand, Nikunja Yonu Ratikeli Siddhai. What does that mean? He's a very close associate of Lord Krishna. He can only take me to Krishna. He's very, very close. He's one of the Manjaris and doing direct service to Krishna. This is what a devotee thinks of Guru. And only a person who's close to Krishna, who they can recommend you, right? No, nobody else can recommend us. We can't approach Krishna directly. We don't have any qualification, but the Guru has that qualification. And that is why we are dasanu, 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 das. We are not even the first das. We are 3 das later. Then that is our mood. Dasanu, 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 das. I can't directly serve Krishna. So how can I? I have to actually just be so submissive, stoop down to such a low level. And then, I'm ready to serve even the ant that serves Vrindavan. That should be our mood. I'm just calling it out as an example, but don't take me literally for that. But the point is that we have to be humble. And we should not have this attitude of not wanting to have a Guru. In the future, Maybe when circumstances permit, I want to take shelter of Guru, because we understand the principle from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhagavatam, all of them. You know, Indra, he misbehaved with his spiritual master and he got into such a big problem. So many instances in Bhagavatam and other stories that substantiate what would happen to a person. And it's one of the offense as well to disrespect the Guru. So given that, what about you not even wanting to have a spiritual master? And if you have that conception, it is even further dangerous. That's not the right attitude. If that attitude is there, we just have to transform that attitude and help understand. We should listen to people's lecture about the glories of having a spiritual master. So that definitely can help. Hope this helps, Sandhya Mataji.
Mataji, but all our life we have prayed to, God.
Yeah.
I've seen my parents pray, my aunts, uncles, or families. I don't remember seeing any guru there. So
Okay.
all the prayers have gone waste, my mom's prayers and everything. Is that what?
No. Nothing, Mataji. The thing is, so since now we are given this knowledge, right? I mean, most of the time it just happens sometimes in the families, it happens as a ritual. Sometimes it doesn't even happen because nobody knows because people are ignorant, right? The ignorance is the reason for why we don't know what we don't know. But so when people don't know about, wanting to take shelter of Guru, then Krishna doesn't penalize them as long as they don't have this offensive attitude of not wanting to have a Guru, even after knowing the fact we should have a Guru. Are you clear, Mataji? So this offensive attitude creeps in when you actually understand Guru Tattva, the importance of Guru Tattva, and still you are, because of your materialistic mind, you actually protest for not having Guru and disrespecting Guru's capabilities. But some people, they don't know about it, and it's not ignorance is bliss, but Krishna will definitely help them understand in a different lifetime as the importance of Guru. So the thing is, as I told you, Agyata Sukriti has to build in, and then faith comes, and then later all these, they come into association of devotees. Probably your parents would not have come into such an association of pure devotees of the Lord to know about Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya and all that. So this process will definitely happen through stages as they progress in their devotional service, Mataji. Hope that helps.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that insight of having a guru. Is there any other question? Well, if there isn't, then should I hand over to Path Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Path Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, first of all, thanks, Radhika Kasturi Mataji, for her wonderful class. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely you explained about the Guru Tattva, like the Sandhya Mataji's question. It is so deeply and so vast. We cannot understand Guru Tattva. We have so many material energy like Bhumi Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Jala Tattva, this material energy. We cannot understand it proper. How can we think about the Krishna, Guru Tattva? It is also more superior, sometimes it is written, more superior than the Vishnu Tattva. Like that, because by the Guru we can understand Krishna. We have no so much capacity or capability. We can understand Krishna or Vishnu. So that's the thanks. Also, this today's topic about this 15th and 16th, how the unconceivable power of the Krishna. So Sutta Goswami is narrating this one in the Naimisharanya, all these sages. Then he also telling them, oh, you're not supposed to be wonderful, not supposed to be surprised how Krishna is at the same time doing all the things. See, Queen Kunti also seeing these things when she is just riding, supposed to leave to Dwarka. Then Kunti was there with all the queens and others, all the sages, and she see how Krishna came and enter inside in the mouth, by his mouth, Uttara's mouth, and enter into the womb of Uttara and save Prahlad Maharaj, sorry, Parikshit Maharaj. Also, same time, he can save the 5 Pandavas because they are just took the weapons, different weapons of the Pandavas. Already we read that one. When that he cannot counterattack of the Brahmastra because it is so subtle and so particular. So Queen Kunti all seen this one. After that, when she see, so that is the today's this chapter is Queen Kunti's prayer. Then she can understand. Oh, then he fell down and he prayed the obeisances to the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the power, and that one, Sutta Goswami is narrating. Oh, you're not supposed to be wonderful. That is the Krishna's inconceivable power, because although he is achyuta, he is not fallible, but he can do everything like creation, inhalation, maintain everything. So thank you very much, Mataji, for your nice and wonderful class. It is very, really heart-touching class and giving so many points, also giving the glories of the Himanta Deep, how we can know the 7 deeps are there when you do the Navdeep Mandal Parikram, but very nice, you glorifying this one. Thank you very much, Mataji. Also, thanks all the devotees who joined here in this Bhagavatam class. I request all the devotees, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of our grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji. Please join. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Vancha Kalpa Tarurubhasya,
Hare Rama,
Papadesho Vaishnavesho Namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki jai.
Please to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Mani Mataji, just stay on for a minute.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I met Khushbu today.
I know, she told me, yes. And I know you went to that class for His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Oh my God. So nice, really. She told me.
House, but I was listening on the road, the Zoom class.
Okay. You just listen. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, really, yeah. Oh, she told me. I was on call with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. Yes, yeah.
Thank you for
So
coordinating.
Oh, Mataji, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. I have a glass of cold water. It's kept me awake.
Thank you so much. I'll see you
No
tomorrow.
worries.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.